Alright, I thought I'd make a quick video on how I do a coolant flush in my FG XR6 Turbo. So, first thing, jack the car up, then take the stone guard off, make sure the car's cool, and then go under the car, and on the left hand side of the radiator there's a small white petcock, which I'll show you in a minute. Take that out, let the fluid drain out into a container, and then reinstall the petcock. At that point you can take these radiator hoses off. So take this off, take this one off, undo these two. The coolant reservoir or overflow tape comes off, and then just clean that out. Put it back in, reinstall the hoses, take the lid off, fill it up with distilled water, and there'll obviously be water in the block, so usually it's about 5 or 6 litres that you can put in there. I think the capacity is 8.7 litres for automatic. But for the first flush, what I do is I put in about 2 litres of demineralised water, and then I'll put in this radiator flush. So I put this in, a whole bottle, and then turn the heater on to full blast. So fill it up, leave the coolant reservoir cap off, heater on full blast, fill it up with the radiator flush and demineralised water, and fill it up to the cold max mark. And then turn the car on and let it idle for 15 minutes. Probably about 6 or 7 minutes in, the thermostat will open, and you can tell because this radiator hose will be hot, and also when you squeeze the hose you'll see the contents of the reservoir moving. So that's what you want it to get past the thermostat. And then after 15 minutes basically do the same, let it cool down, remove the petcock, get a container, put it underneath, catch the fluid, and then fill it back up, this time just with demineralised water. So that will be the second flush, and then you can do it as many times as you want, but I usually just do 2 or 3 flushes. And then for the last one, what we want to do is add some coolant. So I use this Penrite concentrate. Now, like I said, I think it's about 8.7 litres of coolant for the automatic and 8.9 for the manual. So I normally put in, so I did the 50% ratio. So don't forget, because you're flushing it with demineralised water, you're going to have that pretty much clean demineralised water in the block once you've flushed it, depending on how dirty your coolant is. So put in roughly about 4.5 litres of the concentrate, and then fill the rest up with demineralised water, and you're good to go. I haven't really had too many issues with this. With the FG, you can just bleed it with the cap off, and I think with the BAs you have to undo the thermostat housing and release the air that way. So that's how it goes. So this white thing here, this is the petcock. Now you can also undo the radiator hose, which is actually a lot quicker, but I reckon it's a bit more messier, even though this way is a little bit messy. So what we're going to do now is undo this. Do it on that angle. And I've got my container here, which will catch, hopefully, most of the liquid. Let's do that, that's better. So just undo this. You can see that comes out the bottom there. So you can let it drain out the whole way, or you can take the whole petcock out, depending on what you want to do. I normally just take the whole thing out. So that's probably the non-messy way to let it drain like that. This is the messy way, is to take the whole thing out. And then you let it hit the back of the bucket. That will drain out. It doesn't take too long once you take the whole thing out. And this is just the petcock with a little O-ring. So we'll let that drain out. So this is what it looks like after the second flush. You can see it's pretty clean, but I'll show you what it looks like in bottles. Alright, so this is the result of the flush. So this bottle here, that's what we originally drained out. And then this is with the radiator clean additive. So we've drained that out. Then this is the second flush with distilled water, and then the third flush with distilled water. So it's around about 6.5 litres each time. So yeah, it's as you can see, it gets cleaner and cleaner, and then you're left with distilled water in the block. So now we'll add in about 4.5 litres of this. So it's 4.35 to be exact. And then we top the rest off with our demineralised water. So then heater on full. We'll let it run for 15 minutes and thermostat will open up, and then you can squeeze the top radiator line to get out any air bubbles. Done. We're at the right level. No air bubbles coming out. And I squeeze this top radiator line. We'll let it run for another 10 minutes. And it's all done. See you later.